His dad is dead. Millions have perished against the monarchs. And so, with his absolute resolve, Jinwoo requests to use the Cup of Reincarnation one last time to reset everything back to how it was prior to Gates appearing in the human world, and that he alone would take on the monarchs. And that's exactly what happens. Everyone who was once a hunter, including Jinwoo's dad, goes back to being regular humans. Jinwoo travels to the Monarch dimension and fights them off for years. However, on Earth, this has been pretty much no time at all. And so Jinwoo, still with his Monarch powers, lives a normal life as a detective, purposely encountering Cha Ha-ain and becoming friends with her. After blossoming a friendship for years, the two start dating, and eventually get married. And this brings us to the only character in the series who has a chance of surpassing Jin-Woo, his son, Sung Suho, the main character of solo leveling sequel, Ragnarok. Since Jin-Woo technically isn't human by the end of the series, Suho was born with powers passed down by his dad, awakening them as a freaking toddler by gaining the ability to fly. Realizing his son is basically a god now too, Jinwoo decided to train him, but he became so strong his classmates and teachers starting to fear him, leading to Jinwoo sealing his son's powers away and his memories of the Shadow Army. And so Suho's life became pretty normal until high school. As a teenager, Suho always had a strong moral compass and desire to fight, as he had garnered a reputation for beating up any bullies stupid enough to pick on him. However, Suho always had that longing for something more, a strong desire to fight the strongest of opponents. And things started to change after he had a dream of entering his father's domain, the Shadow Dungeon. Within it, Suho was led on a journey of rediscovering his abilities. He would start from zero, making his way through the dungeon, becoming incredibly strong and taking on many similar challenges to the ones that Jinwoo did, and eventually facing some of the strongest members of the Shadow Army like Igris and Beru with just gauntlets. He's still a child here, by the way. He's like 16. Regardless, this dream would stick with Suho even years later, constantly making him question who he is. Which leads us to Ragnarok, where beings known as the Outer Gods or Iterems kidnap Suho's mom and force Jinwoo and the Shadow Army into another massive war, thus leaving Suho by himself and reawakening his powers. Jinwoo, needing someone who could serve as his equal, would send Beru back to Earth to unseal Suho's powers and train him so that he could fight alongside his father and end the war with these Outer Gods. But Suho unlocked these powers on his own when he was about to risk everything to save another human, just like how his own father did during the Double Dungeon. Also, remember how Jinwoo reset the entire timeline so, humans would never have to fight monsters? So yeah, that's not the case because of these Outer Gods. Hunters are back, guilds are back. The world is basically how it was when Jinwoo reset everything. Just like his father, Suho would start off as an E-rank hunter, but has the ability to constantly level up. Instead of the architect building the system this time, it was Jinwoo himself who wanted his son to go through the similar trials he did to one day help save the multiverse. The boy even has abilities the same as his father, like Kandiaru's Blessing or Longevity. Suho is the culmination of the Sung family genes, where his father or grandfather would thrust into the world of hunters unknowingly. Suho was born for this world, not only clearing the entire Shadow Dungeon as a kid, but in the Ragnarok fights, we see that Suho is even better at using the Shadow Monarch powers than Jinwoo. For example, when he created his wolf fists using arisen wolves as weapons, which can replenish themselves when destroyed. For Jinwoo to do such a feat, he had to wait till the final arc to even do Shadow Armor. Suho isn't alone though. His dad may be out of the universe fighting these deities, but Jinwoo did send Chibi Beru as a mentor for the boy. Throughout solo leveling Ragnarok, we constantly see Beru giving Suho advice and talking about Jinwoo and seeing how he compares to his son and things like behavior. He's literally giving him all the advice Jinwoo and Hwan never had. In fact, one of the things that Suho always relies on to get out of a pinch is think about what his dad would have done in a certain situation. Throughout their history, the Sung family has always been bestowed ungodly power to save the world, as is the case for Hwan, or save the universe for Jinwoo, and now it's save the multiverse from the Iterems for Sung Suho. Like, bro, is Suho Sung gonna save like multiple multiverses universes, like, how far are we gonna go with this thing? With that said, to learn even more about solo leveling and its strongest hunters, check out the video on screen right now.